saved my day many times. When you ran away, guess I broke my promise. I have been dishonest to you. You are the master of my plan. Then you let go of my hand.
I said, but if he denied that he ever made contact, why would he give me all his information? Because I wouldn't want to have my, driver's license, phone number, fucking, home address and shit like that. I said, I would have said, no, call the cops. So now I have to go back to my insurance. And look, my truck's gone, but it's the fucking principle that this fucking scumbag motherfucker is lying. So I want
Maybe he's the one that stole your truck. He's like, fuck it, no proof.
No proof.
I didn't give him any of my information. I took all of his information and he never asked for mine. I'm like, all right, fuck off.
And why he would give you all of his information if he didn't know he hit your truck is beyond me.
Right. So this guy's a fucking idiot. So, and I tried calling him. He won't answer. I think he blocked my number. So every day I just shoot him a text. I'm like, hey, miss you. Please respond.
I'm getting Geico insurance because the motherfucker.
And they just go fucking smack people in their cars and they'll take your side.
Right.
I just said, no, I never did that. And then they don't inspect the vehicle or nothing.
Does he have camera proof footage?
Exactly.
Pictures or didn't happen.
Funny thing is, there's probably CCTV at LAX that could have caught it, but that most of their shit wipes in 2 weeks or a week or 20 or months.
Plus, and this is so far after the fact, I never thought to do that. It was pretty.
You would have to have a subpoena from a lawyer. Anyways, they're not just going to give it to you, or they'll ask for a police report, which you didn't get because no one was injured.
Right.
And they don't do police reports for non-injuries.
Yeah.
It's only serious injuries or deaths.
So yeah,
or
Geico insurance. Yeah. And this guy, and I'm like, fuck, man, I almost wanted to blast his fucking name and phone number out there and just have the locker room army just shoot him a fucking message every day. But
you're like, what's up, you prick? Well, the locker room army.
Party. What did I miss?
Oh, Matt was telling us how the guy who creased his truck a little bit at the airport before it was stolen.
A week before
it was stolen, then tried to tell his insurance, I didn't even touch his car. I didn't hit it at all. We didn't even make contact. I don't know what he's talking about. And so Geico called Matt, was like, yeah, we believe him. We're denying your claim. There was no contact. And now Matt's fucked because he doesn't have a truck to prove it.
I have pictures, but that's it.
Yeah.
They're taking his side. So now I'm going to go back to my insurance and just push and see what can be done.
Did you take pictures of his car?
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
I submitted all that shit.
All the evidence they need. Like, okay, this, like.
But the thing was,
damage.
They're like, well, that car, there was pre-existing damage. I'm like, I watched the crease happen. I was standing there looking down going, this guy's fucking up his door. It was happening.
Which leads to my theory, Marco, that this guy had Matt's car stolen, so there would be no more evidence.
Yeah, because it was exactly a week later. The accident happened
a week for the
15th,
right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then the 22nd is when I noticed that the truck was gone.
I guess we know he had that fucking high ass deductible.
Oh, pig stay out,
right?
Yeah. Oh, his car. It looks like he plays bumper cars for a living, not a fucking professional driver. That car was beat to shit. Like if I hired a car to come pick me up, and his Suburban would have shown up, I'd have been like, no, I'm not. I'm not getting in that.
No.
Like, no, your car looks fucking wrecked.
Well, welcome to the locker room. I'm Tom.
I'm Matt.
I'm Chuck.
And like always, I'm late to the party.
It's been a hell of a week, boys, but I would say Matt won the week for shitty weeks with his truck getting stolen last week. Chuck, I think, won the week for shitty weeks this week, though.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Yeah, my daughter had a school dance, and so I sent the permission slips, and I was like, "All right, cool, going to your dance today." Yeah.
No,
okay,
hold
cool.
on. Let's define school. Like, what grade?
Oh, she's in 7th grade, and the school is like one of those schools you have to test to get into. So she had to test to get in there in 6th grade because it has like AP test classes and stuff. So she goes to school, and then I get a call 45 minutes later after school ends, and that's when the dance had started, but maybe like an hour, but it was 45 minutes into her dance. And she calls and says, "Hey, I need you to come pick me up." And I'm like, "Aren't you at the dance?" She's like, "Yeah, but it's getting shut down. I don't know what's going on. Can you come get me?" I was like, "Yeah." So I look over at my wife and I'm like, "The school dance is shut down. We got to go get my daughter, our daughter." And I made a joke and I was like, "I bet it's fucking drugs." Alcohol. And then so we get there and I see all these fucking kids just scattered all over the lawn. People are running away. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And so we pull into the little roundabout area to go get her. And I see these kids and I'm looking, I'm like, I bet it's fucking drugs, to my wife. And I look over and I see this girl all fucked up. And I'm like, oh shit. My daughter gets in the car and I'm like, hey, what the fuck? Was it drugs? And she goes, yeah. And I was like, holy shit. And we sit there and stare at this one young lady. And she was probably in 8th grade. And we're like looking around, we're like, we don't see any fucking teachers. We're like, what the fuck? And we see like these group of people like carrying this girl, and she just fucking eats shit right on the grass. I'm like, oh dude, she's messed up. And then I see this other girl stumble over to her and get down, and they just start crying, and I'm like, oh fuck. And then she's all like fucked up, like swaying and bobbing and shit, and then she just lays on the grass. I'm like, what the fuck? As I'm pulling away, I'm like, where the fuck is the teachers? So
There's
I
no
looked
adults around at all.
Well, there was fucking adults, but like there's no teachers, and like there's all these fucking kids everywhere. It's like hundreds of kids, and I'm like, let's swoop back.
There's not
around.
enough kids.
I gotta go get a
There's
teacher.
not enough adults for all them kids.
Yeah, I was like,
especially when the
I
shit
should
is
get out of
like that.
I was like, I almost got out of the car, and I was like, what the fuck? But I swoop around, and I was about to go. I was trying to tell a teacher, and they fucking ran over to her, and I was like, oh, thank God. And I came up and made sure that those were teachers, and because I had all the windows rolled down, I was about to start yelling like, hey, you know, get some fucking help, you know. And so we saw that she was being tended to, and so we left, and then we saw, you know, ambulances on their way towards the school, and I was like, oh shit. And we start talking to my daughter, and I'm like, hey, what the fuck happened? And she's like, oh well, I guess some kids, some 8th graders came to the dance and brought some slushies that they spiked. I was like, they spiked with what? Drugs, alcohol? She's like, drugs. I'm like, what kind of drug? Some drug named Molly. And I was like, what the fuck? They put Molly in slushies, and I'm like, oh shit, like how much? Like that's a serious drug. Like one pill fucked you up. But yeah, but these are fucking 60-pound, 80-pound, 90-pound, maybe some 120 pounders, but like they're some small little girls, right? And I'm like, what the fuck? Like these dumbasses probably popped a bunch of pills in there and like, you know, fucking dumped them in and then swirled it around. We're like, we're good, you know. And then a bunch of them fucking OD'd. And then my daughter kept talking, and she was all nervous. And I was like, did you have any? Do I have to do an SFST on you? Do I have to fucking 11-550 your ass? Like, and for those that don't know, that's the drug screening to tell if people are under the influence of another narcotic. So I was like, do I need to do this to you? Did you have any? So I kind of grill her, and I'm like, do I need to check your eyes? Do I need to do all this stuff? Because your stomach says you kind of hurt, but she's also on her period. So I was like, ugh, don't want to deal with that. But luckily I watched her, and there was nothing wrong. Her eyes weren't rolling back in her head. There was nothing, any of that. You know, pupils were normal dilated. So I was like, okay, I don't think she's under the influence. I think she's just scared, and her stomach kind of hurt because she's fucking like, this is something she's never been exposed to. She's never dealt with it. She's in 7th grade. Yeah. She's almost 13 years old and has just been exposed to ODs. Stress, kids ODing, and she's probably like freaked out. So I'm like, okay, and I'm like dealing with her with that, and I'm like, this is fucking wild. I'm like, this is crazy. And she was telling me that there was kids that weren't even going, who went to the school, who were going there. And I'm like, well, the teachers were just letting them in. She's like, yeah, no one was checking anything. I was like, they were just letting kids in. I was like, so there could have been high schoolers there fucking dealing dope. Like, this is great.
Welcome to LA County, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm like, this
well, that was bullshit. It was back in, I think, Michigan. Just middle of April, where a little kid brings a bottle of the Cuervo pre-mixed tequilas to kindergarten.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was in Michigan, and he brought the pre-mixed tequila margaritas. It was like 10% ABV, and he starts pouring them with like 4 other students. They're knocking back freaking pre-mixed margaritas. And the teacher has to call like parents, be like, your son brought margarita mixed with pre-mixed margarita juice.
Yeah,
and tequila
brought the
to
wrong
school.
juice for snack time.
Or maybe I brought the right
Dude.
juice and shit.
Mhm.
Probably say, you know,
Yeah.
Daddy drinks this and he gets all happy and giggly, so this is fun juice.
But the kid knew, like he poured it for them and he's like, here, try this juice. And they were like, oh, okay. And they thought they were just drinking like punch. And then the kid tells them it's booze. Like this motherfucker,
A kindergartner knew this.
I think his last name was
Jesus.
Cosby.
Probably.
Oh shit.
Probably.
Here's the thing.
Why, yes,
What
I'd
I-
love another drink, Mr. Cosby.
Well, they weren't
have-
playing pop, so this question.
You're right. That's right.
we have all these like shit that's happening in schools with like active shooters, right? Well,
It's the
what's
active
the next
drinkers.
evolution? Well, no, what's the next evolution in fucking wanting to fucking off a bunch of kids?
Poison.
Like that shit with fucking poison.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, dude, it's drugs. Here you go. And then all these kids fucking just die.
Yeah.
Like a fucking cult drinking juice, you know? Like, and that's like a way to fucking off a bunch of people. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
This is like, I don't feel
Instead of
safe.
wasting a bunch of fucking
No.
Molly like that,
Bro.
fucking does
Dude.
that.
When did ecstasy get called Molly, by the way? When
I
did,
don't know. It confused me at first when they made that change. I'm like, you mean ecstasy? They're like, yeah, Molly. I'm like, no, you mean ecstasy.
Well, I still call it
Fucking-
MDMA because you know the copy.
yeah.
I think it's a different configuration now. Molly is.
I mean, it's always been speed and acid combined.
It's more slushy friendly now.
Is it? It dissolves easily.
Yeah.
Dude, I gotta tell you, this girl was fucked up, dude. She was like, "Raw," and they just ate
Oh,
shit in the grass.
man.
What the
Dude,
fuck?
that shit is scary because your temperature will spike and you'll get it. You'll spike a fever of 107 and you won't even know it because you'll feel so good.
Holy
and you'll fucking-
shit.
Yeah.
You'll stroke out and fucking die, dude.
I guess a girl in the dance, she dropped in the middle of the dance floor and her eyes rolled back under her head and started convulsing.
Mhm. There you go.
Let's go.
See?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Mm.
so welcome to the
Molly.
Southern California school district system. Shit. And that's a
They
special
weren't,
school.
they weren't giving out free drugs when I was in fucking 7th or 8th grade. That's all.
No,
I'm
we had to
saying.
pay for them
Yeah.
like normal people.
Yeah.
crazy.
Kids, if you're going to do that, just sell the drugs to people that want them. Then you'll make money.
Make some money, right? Be entrepreneurial.
Yeah. Don't give them away in fucking slushies like that to unknowing people.
First of all, drugging
Yum,
somebody unknowingly, that's just a dick move.
Yeah.
I mean,
100%.
like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, really? There's a gal that just got arrested. I was reading about it. She just got arrested for serving marijuana laced food at her wedding reception.
Oh, yeah. No, those were the caterers. The caterers did that.
Wow.
But I thought it was at the bride's request
I don't know, but they arrested
because the
two of
bride.
fucking-
I thought the bride got arrested.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
I thought the bride got arrested. Maybe it's two
Can't
different
fucking
incidents.
make-
maybe
Microdose
maybe it's
people.
two. Yeah, maybe it's two different things. Because I read that the two of the caterers there did it and nobody knew. Like they were
Is
just
our,
like,
is our
"Ah, ha,
resident
ha."
news expert Marco looking this up right now?
Yep.
Good.
Looking it up.
Because I mean that's okay.
The hell of a wedding
Aside
party.
from like you're gonna if you dose people without their knowledge, I believe they have the legal right to beat your ass sideways. Like
as soon as they sober up. Yep.
as soon as they hell, even if they want to do it high, because depending on the drug, that's an ass whooping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's one
But-
thing to do it to yourself, but all of a sudden you start feeling weird and you're like, what the fuck? And you don't know. Like that's scary shit because you don't know what the fuck could be going on.
Yeah, and
It's
you don't
not
know what.
fun at that point. It's not fun. It's not like,
You're scared. You're like, what
Yeah.
the fuck is going on?
When you think about like people that get paired, because some people have, there's hyper responders and hypo responders. Some people that
Right.
doesn't affect them very much, and some people it affects them a lot. But then you have people that have rebound effects where, you always hear people say, "Well, pot just makes me paranoid." Well, that does happen. There are people
yeah.
that when they smoke weed, it literally doesn't make them mellow. It doesn't make them chill out. It doesn't do any of those cool things. It makes them fucking freak out and think everybody's after them. I mean, y'all know the story about my wife and the Rice Krispie treat, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah. So when her brother, I mean, she knew that it was laced because she has MS and she was trying to see if that would help. But her brother doesn't tell her, no, you're supposed to eat like 1/4 of it.
Yeah. No, you don't eat
So-
the whole fucking
She
thing.
ate the whole thing?
Yeah, she ate the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. She thought she was dying. Like she thought
Yeah.
she was dying. And it was because she didn't know, like she this was not what she expected to happen. This was
Right.
like hallucinations and shortness of breath and tunnel vision, and so it's fucked up, dude. Just that's a dick move.
Yeah. I have a buddy of mine that I work with that makes this THC infused tea, not tea, honey. I put it in tea.
Oh my God. Okay, sorry. I was reading up on that.
And
I can't wait, man.
I got some of that from him, and he goes, yeah. He's like, this time I used 10 grams instead of just 3.5 grams, and let it, infuse for like 18 hours. And I'm like, fuck yeah. And he goes,
you gotta tell somebody.
Yeah, no, that's what he told me. I'm like, okay.
Oh.
And I said, well, how much did you take? Because he's a pothead or has a higher tolerance. And he goes, I took a teaspoon and it fucked me up. I'm like, okay, that's good to know because I'm a lightweight now. So
Right.
The problem was Saturday evening I was already drunk. So that I put a teaspoon into my hot tea that I made, stirred it, and fucking walked away and came back. And I was like, oh, I got to add the honey to it. So then I put like another teaspoon in.
Oh, you double dosed yourself?
Yeah.
Yes, dude.
Oh,
It was fun. Though. I
man.
enjoyed it though. I was like, this is fucking great shit, And I just,
Oh my
know,
god.
And yeah, so Saturday I wanted Saturday to be a blur, and it was a fucking blur. And then woke up Sunday morning and had prosecco for breakfast.
Yeah, dude. Some very good.
A long time ago, a shop that I worked at, we used to have morale days. So we would put up sign up in the shop that says "Gone Fishing," and we would go. It's the whole shop somewhere. This one trip we went to Universal Studios, and my apprentice at the time, McCory, he worked at the dispensary during the day. So he got some cookies and cream bars, and when we got into the park, he handed them out to everybody. Now, I'd never done, I'd obviously had old school pop brownies and shit like that, but I've never had a prepackaged, milligram, blah, blah,
Like
blah.
the high concentrate.
Right.
The edible.
Right. And I hadn't had breakfast. So I was fucking starving. So he gave me the fucking cookies and cream chocolate bar. And in the time that it took him to hand these out, he handed mine out first. He goes and hands everyone else theirs, turns around to tell me to go ahead and take one square at a time, because each square is not a microdose, but a small dose. So I think it's like each
As
square
you're
was
licking your
5
fingers.
grams. I was already crushing the wrapper and looking for a place to destroy it. And he goes, he literally goes, "Did you just eat the whole thing?" I said, "Yeah, I was starving." He's like, "Okay, here's some water, and we're gonna see how this goes." And I was like, "Was I not supposed to?" He's like, "No, you're supposed to eat like one square at a time." I'm like, "Fuck, dude."
Yeah,
So,
eat a square, wait about a half hour, see how you feel.
All I think about
45 minutes later, I was like, I need to go on the tram tour.
I can't walk.
Tram tour takes an hour to do, and I just have to sit there while fucking Jaws tries to eat my feet. they put my ass on the tram tour and said, "We'll come back and get you."
Oh my god. How long?
Oh, dude, I was fucking high. I mean, I had been this high before, but I had not been this high since like my early fucking 20s. I was like, when you say like old school, I was blazed the fuck out. I was butted the fuck up. I can't even describe. Like everything was.
Snoop Dogg was like, "Damn, that motherfucker."
That motherfucker's fucked up. Like it's to the point where everything was tingly, and every step I took, it felt like I was like walking in a fluffy cloud. You know what I'm saying? Just like,
surprised you didn't pass out.
Yeah.
No, that's you, Chuck. But potheads were my favorite druggies to deal with on the street. Like potheads were so easy and mellow. Like I was never mad. I never bust them. Like it was like whatever, dude.
Well, you
never
fucking
dicks.
Well, yeah, you never catch a fucking pothead fucking trying to eat someone else's face, like
Right.
someone on fucking bath salts.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
dude.
or fucking
Walking
running down the street, fucking taking the clothes off, talking about I'm hot, shit.
Yeah.
You know?
The most you could arrest a pothead for is assaulting a bag of Jack in the Box tacos.
Hey,
Well,
so
after they
I
legalized
looked up,
it.
Yeah.
Let's get to that wedding story. I'm fucking dying to hear.
Yo, so this fucking chick considers herself a holistic chef. Let me just start off with that, so you know where.
Oh fuck.
You know, basically, this ride just went
Yep.
Oh.
and just got to the top, and it just comes down from there. So they,
Someone's full of shit when someone says, "I consider myself a." It's like, no, you either
Right.
you are or you are
Right,
not.
right.
You get like, I consider myself to be a doctor. Did you go to medical school? No.
So a bunch of the guests started feeling tingly and complaining, and like, I don't fucking feel right from this. And the dish they were serving Italian food, so it was like meatballs and raviolis and blah blah blah.
It wasn't oregano.
So that's what they fucking did. Like they fucking crushed up like actual flour and put it on top as an oregano, mix it in as oregano. But here's the fucking kicker. Here's the kicker. No matter, now go with me on this for a second, guys. This as the resident fat guy here. No matter how fucking full you are or how not hungry you are, when you go somewhere and they put garlic bread down on the table,
you're gonna eat that garlic bread.
You're eventually, I don't give a fuck like what kind of diet you're on. You're like, ooh, garlic bread. And you're gonna start cracking it up. So here's the thing. Here's the thing is, the garlic bread was dipped in fucking oil. Yep.
He consummated that weed.
Like, dude, if anybody
like
out here listening, dude, anybody out here knows anything about anything, oil is like oil. It's fucking pressed, concentrated fucking form. So they like I just read on it. The reason the way they found this out is that the cops are like, man, too many people at this wedding are complaining and are fucked up. So they went to the trash and they grabbed a sample of lasagna. They found some shit in that. They found some of the bread and they tested the bread and the bread fucking spiked because they fucking found out later that they dipped the fucking bread in straight oil and they were fucking handing it out. And their whole thing was like, we just wanted everyone to have a good time. Oh man. Yeah.
So was this? So this was not at the bride's request. This was just the holistic.
No.
The bride hired.
This was the fucking bride. No, the bride considers herself a fucking holistic.
That's what I'm saying. So I guess it was right. The caterer and the bride were the same person.
Oh my god!
They pulled that bread out of the trash, and the bread was like, "Hello, I'm the bread. What's happening?"
They should have put a warning.
I'm the bread. You want to get high?
Like this is the weed bread. This is infused with marijuana. I mean, and this is regular.
This is the rosemary olive oil, and this is the THC verbena.
At least at least have like the little fucking green, the green cross, or right next to like the dishes that are laced up. So like if you want to have a good time, fuck, have at it.
But see, that would be like serving, like if you straight up served booze in every drink at a wedding.
I'm down.
What's a wedding without booze? But still, like if you did it without people's permission, or you basically fucking roofied everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, do you motherfuckers have any of the bacon wraps at my wedding?
Yes.
You guys see the wraps of those?
Yep. I had a little bit of everything.
I don't think
you didn't have anything? Oh man, yeah. Those are fucking good. If y'all know, in California, Los Angeles area, we have bacon wrap hot dogs that street vendors make. Don't ask how they're made, just know that they're delicious. Yeah, we didn't have like late night pass hors d'oeuvres at my wedding. I straight paid off one of the ghetto dog ladies to show up. Yeah, with her little street vendor cart.
Oh yeah, she was right there outside.
Yeah.
I remember. Right.
I remember that shit.
Oh yeah.
Fuck yeah. You just walk up. I'm like, I'll take two.
But I asked her for the actual cart. She actually brought the little cart with the little hot dog picture in the front and everything. The little red cart, in there. She had that. And it was right next to the bar. At the end of the night, I was like, "Yeah, let's go."
It was fucking beautiful.
Let's go fuck this up.
It's like
I'm so
I don't mind street food, but
what are you suspect about?
The corn with the mayonnaise, I can't.
Ooh,
stop
it.
Yeah, no elote. No.
No, hold on.
No bathtub mayonnaise.
No.
Why? ¿Por qué?
I don't like.
I don't trust. Well, I don't like mayonnaise either.
Well,
but I don't.
What kind of white people are you?
Mayonnaise.
It's not homemade mayonnaise.
The right kind of white people. Nobody.
I got an elote man in my neighborhood. I just found out.
We make elotes at the house. You got an elote in your neighborhood? That's fantastic. We don't have.
I haven't had it yet, but I've heard him.
Oh yeah,
but no, I'm suspect of the carts because.
Go ahead.
Two things.
Please.
Before I was ever a law enforcement officer.
Yes, sir.
I got really sick out of Central Station down in LA off of one of those hot dog carts, like pissing out my asshole type of sick. And I was like, oh fuck, it was good, but not for peeing out my butt. And then and then
wasn't pee out my butt good.
Right.
I don't know if I've ever had food that was pee out my butt good.
I'll pay $20 for a hot dog, but at the time that I had the shits, I'm out.
Yeah. I had to work a gig one time where the hot dog vendors on their carts, basically what they do is they take a fucking battery and then they hook it up to the fucking cart underneath, and they basically hook up a fucking big steel baking tray that's like welded on there and shit.
Yeah,
and it
that's
heats it
what they
up
use,
and
yeah.
everything.
Yeah,
And it's like a hot plate type of thing.
Right.
And so we had to wrangle a bunch of those up and you know, we weren't citing people. If they stuck around, we'd have to cite them, but we had to get rid of them for the event. And at the end of the night, basically we ended up with all these carts and we're putting them in the back of this flatbed. And I got to tell you, how many roaches were coming out of those carts was unreal. I'm like, dude, the motherfucker's on. And there's roaches like in this shit because it didn't look like they cleaned them. It was like stale grease and shit on top.
Yeah. What do they care? They're not eating that shit. We are.
Nasty, dude.
That's fucking weird, man. Like well, I mean, it depends on where you go. I mean, the ghetto dogs like we used to have all the time in LA, like you could tell like the motherfuckers took pride in their carts. They had like the hot dogs like in a different cooler.
Yeah.
Everything was separate. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah.
I'm assuming the ones that took pride in their shit were the ones running with it, pushing that fucking cart as hard as they could.
100%. 100%. By
Well,
the way,
now
it costs
street.
Do you know it costs them $350 to have that cart made? Those carts are made by specific like couple spots in LA that make them.
Damn.
Wow.
And he probably ain't nobody got a business license. The guy that makes the cart don't have no business
Fuck
license.
no.
The guy that
Fuck
makes
no.
the food don't have. That's
no.
what
Ain't no
pisses. This is why
there's no
I'm
food
with Adam
handler
Carolla
safety
about
course
this,
in
which
this?
is
Right.
like you can't fucking open a restaurant. Like you can't do things the right way. Like people get fucked on taxes and workers' comp and all this health inspection and these motherfuckers just like push their cart onto the street and make money hand over fist. Like,
yeah. Well, now all over, like all over Hollywood, especially up by like the Bowl and stuff, where they usually camp out when there's which now traffic is fucking horrendous thanks to that fucking place. But there's signs like they have a new like freaking city code, blah blah blah, and there's no words on it. It just has a picture of a person with a hot dog cart with a little fucking circle with a fucking red slash through it.
That's awesome.
So.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. We're actually going through that right now, as far as like the hoops,
Yeah,
you know, the fire hoops. So
because you're doing it the right way.
Yeah, I mean, we have to obviously, but yeah, this shit's fucking crazy. But I mean, I get the hustle, man. I'm from the.
I respect the hustle. I just whatever. I'm sorry. I can't.
I actually know of they started off as a street vendor in LA that were fucking delicious, but they would only open up at night and on the weekends. Obviously, you know, that's the whole get down. You open up at night on the weekends, and they became they're fucking good, but they became so good and so popular that they just bought a brick and mortar and a food trailer. It's like good for them, man. Good for them. Good. They're doing it right. But I mean, they started off like on Reseda Boulevard at nighttime.
Yeah,
for sure.
So,
well, now that we finished with drugs and food, I thought we would talk about that article I sent you guys because I found it interesting, especially in light of all the Kim Kardashian stuff that's come out. It was I've never heard of this gal. Well, I'm gonna get to that. I never heard of this gal.
Do we have?
I have.
What?
If we can just collectively, as a universe, as one people, as this nation, as not even this nation, this world, just fucking let the Kardashians go. You know what I'm saying? Like
off a cliff, I'm down.
Just like, enough. You know what I'm saying? It's enough. It's done.
The Kardashians are the new Jacksons. Like, like fucked up as the Jackson family was, the Kardashian family is like that. But this should make you happy because this is about
this
is about Kim Kardashian realizing how much she done fucked up.
Oh, that article. I was like, you said article, and I'm like, fucking article, and I was scrolling and I found it. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So this gal, her name is Lana Rhoades. And Chuck's nodding his head. I'd never heard of her.
Hello.
I know who she is.
Okay. Oh, who's she?
She's porn star.
Shouldn't it be Lana Rides? Oh wait, Lana Road.
You should.
Rides.
Lana Road Rides. Wouldn't that be?
Well, it's Lana Road now because she rode on out of there. She's not getting ridden anymore.
Well, so she doesn't. Anyway. I guess she at 24, her career was over. She's all done.
Right.
And
you stopped.
Yeah,
she's a long, hard career.
Yeah, 24, dude.
You hear that? That's what happens in between her legs.
It's so she basically came out, but
something came
out.
Did she pull out?
Was quoted in the news as saying that she is really upset and wants all of her. She wishes she could get all of her porn deleted off the internet.
Impossible.
Yeah, wish in one hand, shit in the other, and you let me know which one fills up first, because that
You,
that is not going to
you
happen.
can you can talk to Betty Page about that, and she didn't even do porn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Right. And so it goes with apparently Kim Kardashian now is upset because her kids know about her sex tape.
Yep, that's it. That's how this all started.
Well, how are you going to explain to your kids, Mom? Hey, Mom, how did you become famous? Because that's how
Right.
she became famous.
That's how she
the
became
only
famous,
right.
That
Right.
is it.
Right.
Yeah. Now, I here's the thing. I'm gonna give a public service announcement from
Oh, hold on,
Papa Tom.
ladies and gentlemen, señoras y señores, for the first time here, para la primera vez, el Papa Tom.
So I have a daughter, and I took Chris Rock's advice years and years and years ago. And when he said, when you, as a father, have a daughter, your number one goal in life becomes to just keep her off the pole. Okay,
that's church. That's church.
And Matt will tell you this. Like I helped plan Matt's bachelor party, and we did go to a couple of strip clubs.
Went to one. It was just
well,
one.
I think we went to two. We went to the really crazy Russian Russian mail order bride one.
What the fuck?
Oh yeah,
Right?
but
Yeah.
we left pretty quickly.
We left pretty quickly, and then we went
we need
to-
to not be here. We need to not be here.
That was when they were like, "You want to come up and meet one of the girls that we brought over?" in the
No.
shipping
Well, look, I
container?"
went back for a
No.
little private dance, and they were getting really handsy, and I'm like, I know they should not be doing this, so this is a bad situation.
Right. I've seen
make money.
movies where this goes
Yeah.
terribly wrong.
Yeah.
So, here's my feeling about strip clubs. I've never truly enjoyed strip clubs for two reasons. Number one, it feels like you go to an all-you-can-eat restaurant when you're starving, but you have no money. Right.
You know what's funny?
Or they just let you smell the food.
Right. Exactly. Like you can smell it and look at it, but you can't eat it.
You
And-
can't
and-
eat it. Right.
As my sister's husband at the time, he was the bouncer at Jumbo's Clown Room. And if you've never been,
Oh my God.
If
What
you've
a
never been
gem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the
So it's a
same
bar.
anymore. It's
No, it's not,
nicer
'cause it's
now. It's not
become-
like
right.
it's not trashy like it used to be.
Yeah. No, it
so
That's
was
this
when it
used
was
to be
fun.
like it was a not a strip bar because they were required to be wearing pasties and panties, right? But they had a pole and they had dancers, so it was more like a exotic dancer bar. But it was a hole in the wall,
a
like
bikini bar. It was like a bikini bar.
the
Yeah,
distance
yeah,
from
yeah.
the bar stools to the stage was probably 5 feet, 6 feet.
If
And-
that.
if that, right.
Yeah.
So it was really tiny. And my brother-in-law at the time was a bouncer there. And I talked to a stripper there, and not even a stripper. I talked to a dancer there, and she said that the kind of motto for exotic dancers was, if you go to a strip club, you're gonna get fucked, but you're not gonna get laid.
Right.
And like they, it's mercenary. They say anything they have to and make you feel like and hey, you know what? If you're that guy that needs that, I'm sorry for you. But I've just never enjoyed it. Number one. Number two, the saddest moment at any strip club is when the lights come up and this girl starts picking money up off the floor that people threw on the stage at her as the announcer brings out the next dancer to, whatever heavy metal song or rap song that she has chosen.
It's an Alice in Chains song. It's always a fucking Alice in Chains song.
But do you know how to get your money's worth out of a strip club?
Don't go.
You don't go. Yeah.
This is according to a buddy of mine.
I'll take a girl with
Marine
you.
Corps,
Take a couple girls.
And I've
with you.
never been to a strip club, but he swears by it. He's like,
You've never been
best-
to a strip club.
no, never. He goes, the best way
What?
to
We gotta change that.
the best way to get your money's worth. And I
Don't
was like,
bother.
yeah, how? And he goes, you wear sweats with no underwear. And I was like,
Oh,
"You
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
weirdo." He goes,
Dude.
because you get a hard
Yep.
on and then you just fucking come in your pants. And I was like, you're fucking disgusting.
What
Okay,
the
so-
fuck?
Well, I don't
This
know
is
about-
something that the girls that I talk about. They hate
Fucking
guys
gross.
like that, and they will get you. They will have you thrown out
Well,
for doing that.
the military guys were what's paying their fucking bills, so they kind of just let them do.
Well,
whatever.
I'm
And you
sure
know how
the-
many
the
dudes were
scummy
banging the fucking strippers and bringing them back to the barracks rooms and
Of
getting in
course.
fucking trouble.
Of course,
Holy
because they're
shit.
hookers. But my point is that I've always felt like like I can't help but sit there and watch these girls and go, "Where's your dad?" And then I realize, oh fuck, you probably don't have one, or he touched you inappropriately.
Oh,
Like that's as a cop, those are the thoughts that go through my mind because I just see that progression. I've seen it
through-
over and over and over and over and over and over.
Going through college.
That's cute. Even the one I knew one girl that worked at Jumbo's Clown Room. And Marco, you remember her? She was pretty. She was very, very nice, blonde gal, and she was putting herself through college. By the time she was done, she had dropped out of college and was addicted to meth.
Oh shit.
So, yeah. So, same thing with porn, right? Keep your daughters off the pole. Keep your daughters.
Keep the pole out of your daughter.
Keep the pole. Where's your bell? You got to give yourself the bell on that one.
But that leads into OnlyFans.
Well, so
that's virtual fucking porn, like virtual sex working.
It's the same porn. It's porn is porn.
Sex
like
work.
It's this is why I used to jokingly tell people, if you're gonna hire a hooker,
Right.
bring a camera. And they'd be like, why? And I'm like, because if you film it,
it's
it's not
porn,
illegal.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, you just have to find a hooker that understands the legal principles of porn and just tell her you're hiring her for a porn shoot and videotape it. And then when the cops come, you're like, no, I'm sorry, this is totally legal. She's a porn star. Like, that's the only difference between prostitution and pornography is the camera.
I'd like to see that work in court.
Or if you get her to sign a release,
if
you
you-
get
I
her
was
to
gonna say,
sign a
if you
release,
got-
get her
if
to
you got
sign
the
a
I'd like
release-
release.
to, hi baby, what do you want? I would like you to be in a porno. Sign right here. And how much for everything? Yeah, 150. Yeah, I'll pay you 150 to do whatever and be videotaped by whatever conglomerate.
I sat with a major agency, and I won't name the department, but I'll tell you guys after we're done recording. I sat with a cop from a major police department who worked Vice, and we hatched a plan over drinks at Chili's that we
Jesus
figured.
As one does. As one does.
That's right, as one does.
Is that or
Chili's.
Applebee's?
we basically figured out the do's and don'ts and ins and outs, no pun intended, to operate a legalized brothel and what you would need to do to basically allow to have a legalized brothel in California, because Southern California was at one point, I don't know if they still are, the porn capital of
Still
the
is.
world.
Yep.
They're
Still
the tip
is,
of the
yeah.
spear.
Yeah.
Tip of something.
Porn
Just,
is like herpes. Once you that shit does okay, the internet never forgets. We know that, right?
No.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And we also know that rule 32 of the internet, if it exists, there's also porn of it.
Yeah.
So if it's porn, it's going to end up on the internet. Period. End of story. Like it doesn't matter that you made it in your house with your boyfriend that one time and he promised he wouldn't show it to any of his friends. That shit's on the internet right now.
Yep.
Somewhere. MySpace, OnlyFans, like I don't fucking know, but it got Snapchat, DMs. It has been digitally transferred from one device to another via the internet as of right now. And somewhere the internet still remembers it. So I feel like I respect this girl for coming out and saying like, hey, the porn industry is victimizing women. It's not empowering women. It's awful.
Yeah.
It's
There's been a lot lately. Ever since that I don't remember the name because I don't even know who she was until I read about it, but she killed herself like a few years ago. She was getting like she didn't want to do a scene with a gay male porn star because I guess the guys don't have to get tested as often as the girls do.
Ooh.
Oh,
And everybody was like, "Oh, you're homophobic, da da da," and because you won't do the scene with this gay guy. And she's like, "No, I just, he wasn't going to be tested, and I get tested, and I don't feel safe." And she got bullied so much on Twitter that she fucking killed herself.
I don't know about that, man. I mean, I remember working where I was working and having the clientele that I had and who owned the shop that you guys know.
Oh, she's cute.
They they have to show it, like you show up with your current test. Like when you're signing in for work and doing your releases and stuff like that, you have to show your negative test.
Well,
Well,
apparently
So that surprises me.
Yeah, but it's I forget the.
So it says August Ames.
That's the one.
Aims for
see.
what?
These names are clever. They're not like back in the day, like
No.
August Ames, Lana Rhodes.
Right. Before it was like Christy Canyon.
Yeah.
Debbie didn't even have a last name. We just knew she lived in Dallas.
Yep.
Yeah.
She does everything.
So this girl, August Ames, tweeted out that she would not work with a crossover star who had filmed gay scenes. And the wrath of the porn industry, I'm reading this article, wrath of the porn industry and Twitter at large descended upon her. Says, whichever lady, this is her tweet, whichever lady performer is replacing me tomorrow for at whatever this porn company is, you are shooting with a guy who has shot gay porn. Just to let you know, BS is all I can say. Do agents really not care who they are representing? First of all, I didn't know porn stars had agents. I mean, it makes sense, but
yeah, everybody wants to get a piece of that money.
So there's a new audiobook called The Last Days of August, and I'm guessing it's not read in a very sexy voice. But oh my god, and an investigation by journalist
that you, Marco?
Ronson.
No, that wasn't me.
Oh.
No,
I thought I heard a little moan or something through my headphones.
I heard that too. No,
okay.
It's probably me clearing my throat.
Oh, yeah. So this is funny because the investigative journalist, that sounds like a porn star. It's John Ronson.
Yeah, it's a porn star. That is a porn star name. 100%.
So it's this book that he wrote, and it's an audiobook about what happened to her. But it basically goes into how the cyberbullying caused her. I mean, let's face it, she was already doing porn and stuff like that. So,
right,
we're gonna guess that she wasn't completely well adjusted,
right?
As it was, but this is so. I'm interested to read this now because that might be interesting to hear what she has to say. But basically, she killed herself after all this stuff, and it says there's a quote. It says, "For 20 years, I've lived a life that I kind of regret now." As this guy that they interviewed, he says, "We are making a living off the backs of the mentally ill. I can't say to the business, you guys have ruined people's lives and not include myself." That was a producer who's out of the game now. But I mean, Lana Rhodes, I'm glad you're fighting. I'm glad you're out there. Like,
you're not going to win. I mean,
you're not going to win.
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian had to send. She was sleeping with Pete Davidson, and Kanye West still went and saw Ray J and got the rest of them files off of his laptop for her. That's how much Ye loves Kim.
Wow. Well, there's a lot of people been speaking out, including the Playmates, Hef's Girls. There's a whole documentary on Hulu talking about like their time with Hef.
But see, why is anybody surprised?
Yeah, like I wasn't.
Like,
yeah.
Oh, Hugh Hefner was a creepy old man who did nasty shit and was.
He fucking ran Playboy.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
like, that doesn't fucking surprise me.
Well, because people look at they bought into his whole public, image that he put out there. That
that's like people telling me Larry Flint was a scumbag. Oh no shit.
Yeah, you think?
I mean, I saw the People versus Larry Flint. No, Larry Flint's been dead for a while.
Yeah, but he did. He was the judge in that movie.
Mm-hmm. He was the judge in People versus Larry Flint, which is a good movie.
Yeah,
and
it was a really good movie.
As a supporter of Elon's fight with Twitter and as a free speech absolutist, I agree with the legal precedents set in that case, which is like you can't arrest somebody for selling a magazine with naked pictures of a girl any more than you can arrest the girl for taking her clothes off and allowing somebody to take naked pictures of her.
Right.
Like,
yeah, that's fair.
You can't legislate morality. As much as I disagree with it, and as much as I don't like it, and as much as I think it destroys lives, I don't think you can make laws about seatbelts and about helmets and about porn and about you can't nanny people to death with law. That's not what fuck you. You want to go ride a motorcycle without a helmet and get your head split open? Go ahead.
Is that why it's not? It's just a ticket in California, right? If you're not wearing a DOT approved helmet.
I think now it is. If you're not wearing a DOT approved helmet, not wearing a helmet is different than not wearing a DOT approved helmet. If you're wearing a helmet that's not DOT approved, you just have to go into court and show that you have a DOT helmet, and then it becomes like a fixed.
But if you get pulled over for just not wearing a helmet,
but like here, there's no helmet law. Period.
Yeah,
I see people jumping on the Harley.
Oh, same. Yeah, same.
No helmet
same here. No helmet.
And the cell phone and the seatbelt, those aren't even primary offenses. Like it's on the books, but you can't pull somebody over for it. Kind of like.
I mean, you can't hear.
It's it's nanny legislation. If you like, what's that? You want to go down the street, get your head fucked up, go ahead.
Yeah. I don't know. I like the whole no cell phone while you're driving thing for me around here because I wish I fucking yell at people all the goddamn time.
Oh, because they have
that
their
might
head
be
up
a
their
primary
ass, dude.
offense. But
Yeah.
and to be fair, when you test people driving while they're on their cell phone, like it was different when you were just on a phone. Like when you were talking on the phone.
Yeah.
Right.
That was different. Now motherfuckers be playing solitaire
Oh yeah.
and checking their Facebook and watching YouTube. I remember a time
Snapchatting.
when having a
Yeah.
TV in view of the driver was illegal.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Shit,
So-
the way we grew up, our fathers, I always thought it was illegal to have the dome light on when you're
Me
fucking
too.
driving at night. I thought that was a
Oh,
real
yeah.
fucking thing. Yeah. We're gonna get pulled over. I'm like, it's fucking. I can't see, Dad.
Right. Yeah. So I just, anyway, I don't believe in nanny legislation at all. I don't think you should try to legislate morality, but at the same time, like common sense tells you that if you at what point do you think this is not going to haunt you for the rest of your life? Doing porn or doing having a sex tape released. I mean, that shit's out there and it's never going away.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know.
I think the only way you can get rid of it, you'd have to
Buy the rights.
Buy the rights to all of your.
But
films,
even
right?
then, you'd have to buy the rights to all of your films,
Yeah.
and then you'd have to find everybody with a copy of it and try to
you
get
can
them.
get it off you can get off the internet though. If you own the rights, then you say this is mine, and you cannot post it without my permission. Then you can just go after.
There's no
know,
grandfather
flag.
to that. Like, if we bought it, or way back when we had this, blah blah blah. It wouldn't be.
I
like-
don't believe so, because if whoever owns the rights to Star Wars can decide whether or not Star Wars gets shown in a theater or
That's true,
on
yeah.
DVD so I think once you own the rights to it, like you serve anybody who's posting it with a cease and desist, and they have to take it down or face legal action.
Right.
Right.
But that still doesn't, like, I mean, I'm sure Napster for porn still exists. I don't know what, I know that's how pedophiles share that, because there's no child porn, for I mean, obviously Pornhub got served with notice and had to pull down a bunch of porn sites recently got served notice that they had to pull down I think 40% of their videos because they didn't have proper documentation about the ages of the people in the videos.
Right. But they weren't like kids. These
Right.
were
But that's different than,
I mean, they're still
children.
kids, but yeah, children.
Right. Children. Like, let's face it, a 16-year-old girl when Tracy Lords did porn at 16 is different than a 10-year-old who hasn't even hit puberty. And I don't care what you like, they both may be illegal, but as far as I'm concerned, the person watching a 16-year-old girl like Tracy Lords, who looks, 21, 22 years old,
and thought she was older,
and in some cases thought she was,
Right.
is different than the guy who's watching a 10-year-old that he knows is fucking 10.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the? Did you hear about
Only
the
one
guy
thing you
who
can do with those people:
castrate him?
take him out
Kill
straight
him.
and beat him to
Fucking
death.
kill him. Yep.
Well,
Fucking kill him.
This leads right into that. Did you hear about the guy who went to prison and he was bragging about how he fucking sexually raped, and sexually assaulted fucking bunch of underage people or underage kids?
So he wanted to commit. He wanted.
I was gonna say he was
wanted to
suicidal
die.
then.
Yeah, he was suicidal.
Yeah.
He wanted to die because
So,
everybody knows.
Matt can speak to that. Matt, what was the word you taught me?
Which one?
Chomo?
Oh yeah, the chomos. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, check this shit out. This dude right here, a prisoner who bragged about his offenses was disemboweled in prison on Saturday. For many criminals, especially those who sexually assault people, it's often in prison that they're made to suffer for their crimes. A prisoner who bragged about his offenses was disemboweled Saturday. They're made to suffer for their crimes. Yada yada. Many men are raped, sexually assaulted, and murdered in prison. Mitchell Harrison, 23, a serial sex offender, Saturday found out what later awaited him. When Mitchell Harrison was sentenced to 4 years in prison for raping a 13-year-old girl, he seemed proud of his crime. Harrison was sent to the notorious Franklin prison, home of child killer Ian Huntley, who last year had his throat cut when quizzed by other inmates. Yeah, Harrison would brag about the atrocities for his sexual exploits, and this was the third time he was caught for his sexual offenses on minors.
See, like you said, suicidal. Because
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
If you don't know this,
Yeah.
we're going to tell you right now, Matt. What happens to child molesters, pedophiles, and people that are convicted of crimes against children in prison?
You die. You die slowly and savagely. It's not like a quick, shiv in the fucking throat or a couple sticks in the side. It's like a pack of fucking wolves on a goddamn, defenseless little animal that you get torn apart. Is the joke? The joke was when one of the yards that I went to, because I got midway through, they give you scores. You have I think it was like three scores. So you have like a sex score, a violence score, and then there was some other score. But it
Punk
basically
rock score.
it basically rates you on like where I was like a 1 to 5 of your offense. Like if you're convicted of a violent crime, it's more towards the 4 or the 5, or if you have a history of a lot of fights and stuff, your score goes up and you get moved to different yards. And so when people were coming in and it happened to me, I was walking in the yard with a freaking van full of people that we got moved to, and the head guys in the yard are barking at you. You go, what's your scores? What's your scores? And they'll try to mix in people that are in there for sex crimes because it's just overcrowded, and they tell you, shut the fuck up, But at any time, you can go and get a printout of your charges. Like in jail and in prison, you can go and request a printout, and if anybody was suspect, would be like, go get some paper, go get your fucking paper. And sometimes they'd come back with it. Here you go. And sometimes you just wouldn't see them again. You knew it was fucking chomo because you run it there and I need to be put in protective custody right now. They're gonna fucking kill me.
Yeah.
But yeah, you die.
It's I mean, couldn't happen to a nicer person.
Yep.
Because I've said this before. If you do something to a kid, you haven't committed murder of their life, but you've committed murder of their soul, because that kid will never grow up to be the person they would have been had you not fucking touched him.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree.
This guy raped a 15-year-old, a 13-year-old, and a 7-year-old.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah.
Put me in, coach.
Yeah.
Batter up. Like I hope they went
Braveheart on his ass.
All right.
Sounds like they did. They fucking disemboweled.
He was disemboweled.
Good job.
Yeah, but slow.
Yeah.
But see, look what happened to Jeffrey Dahmer. Like Jeffrey Dahmer, Charles Manson lived his whole crazy ass life in prison, died in his 80s, right? John Wayne Gacy, Jeffrey Dahmer, they killed that motherfucker. Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, he died of cancer in his 60s, whatever.
No, he did.
Yeah. He was sentenced to death, but he was never executed.
Death, but never executed because cancer got him. But Jeffrey Dahmer, they beat his ass to death with a mop handle.
Yeah, I think in cases like this, it shouldn't be like any appeal or anything like that. If you've been convicted and obviously you're fucking boasting about it, there's no reason to fucking prolong the fucking death sentence. Save everyone some fucking money. Just get it done.
So here's what we could do. Let's take Epstein's Island, right, and let's use it for good, and we'll make it Pedo Island, and we'll just drop all the pedophiles there.
Yeah.
And we'll populate it with poison snakes and poison spiders and fucking all kinds of poisonous fucking shit. And then we'll put like a net around it, and we'll put like sharks and shit inside the
with
net.
Laser beams.
Freaking laser beams.
With freaking laser beams. Ill-tempered sea bass. But seriously, like I am not against taking people who have done these kinds of things and just dropping them on an island and saying, fuck you. Like
figure it out. There you go.
Figure it out. Like here's some flint steel to make fire. That's it.
Yeah. And if you're hungry, look to the guy to the left or the right of you. That's your fucking food source. Figure it out.
Right. Or and I'm not even opposed to once a month, flying over with like sheep or chickens and just dropping them on the island alive. Like, fuck you, you kill it, you cook it, you clean it. Like,
No, because they're gonna fuck the sheep. You got to go something small.
Well,
they're all gonna fuck the sheep. That's okay. The poor sheep. That's ridiculous. What's that poor fucking sheep do?
That's true. We have to kill the sheep first. All right, we'll have to drop dead sheep.
Yeah. Okay. There we go.
We'll have to drop dead sheep, or we'll sew up the holes on the sheep.
Again, poor sheep.
Oh my god,
I know, that's true.
Why don't we put him on the island and just
where's this going?
put him on an island and be like, okay, once a day for an hour, we're going to release a tiger.
Yeah.
just
They
May
check
the
out
odds
back.
forever be in your favor.
That's
Just let a tiger run around. Fucking snacky snack.
Hey, we'll get the tiger that ate the gay magician, Roy or Siegfried. I can't remember which.
One of the white tigers. Yeah.
We'll get that tiger because he's got priors.
Yeah.
So, and you know what? He deserves a nice island getaway after all those years in Vegas watching those two freaking queens go at it.
Hey, do you remember the fucking video that was circulating a little while ago about there's a couple that went on it's a zoo. It's like a wildlife reserve kind of zoo, and they had tigers there. They got into an argument, and she fucking hopped out of the car, and she was yelling at the dude, and the fucking tiger came up and snatched her ass.
No.
Yes.
Pause the fucking podcast, and go watch this shit real quick. And we're like, what? This thing exists? It does.
Seriously injured. The deadly incident at the Badaling Wildlife Park in Beijing is being investigated.
Oh my God. Okay,
Park
so she's getting out of the
surveillance
car.
video captured the moment when the tiger attacked the
Getting
woman.
out of the car.
The two visitors
she's
in the
walking
front
over
seats
to the
of a
other
white
side.
sedan reportedly got into
They're doing a
an
Chinese fire
argument
drill.
while driving
And I'm not
through
being
the
racist.
tiger
They're in
enclosure.
China.
Because they're in China.
The male
Oh,
driver immediately chased
Oh,
after
shit.
the pursuer.
Oh!
Shows a second woman in the back of
I'll
the
take
car
that to
showing
go,
her
please.
Oh,
resistance.
goodbye.
Authorities said she
Oh,
was
and the freaking army truck comes out of nowhere. Oh, we got
Shit.
we got a code 37, Bill. We got a code 37. Wow.
Oh shit! That thing came quick. He's like, no.
Yep. It's like, I'd take you.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
hey,
Fuck.
that's,
I mean,
you know, why would you,
Let's
why
fuck
would
around
you,
and find out.
yeah, why would you even do that?
She's like, you're making me caustic. I'm going to drive now.
Like, how much of an asshole do you have to be to drive your fucking wife out of your car in the middle of a fucking tiger
Ooh,
park?
Wait a minute. I got it. I got it. He was sick of
better
her
way to
ass.
get away with it.
He was so sick of her ass. And he
I'm
was
gonna
sitting there,
leave. He's like,
and he
"Good."
looks out. No, he looks out on the left and he sees the tiger hiding in the bush. He's like, honey, I'm getting tired. Would you mind driving for a little while?
He said it all.
Oh shit!
He's like,
She gets
divorce
out.
granted. That's
Yes.
it.
We get the tiger divorce.
Oh,
I believe you guys
well,
haven't seen that video.
And
Holy
we're running
shit.
out of time, and we weren't gonna be able to tackle it tonight anyway, because it's gonna be an entire episode. But everybody's losing their fucking minds about the Supreme Court right now, and it's just pushing us one step
Pershing
closer
Square is
to-
going off right now. There's
Really?
riots right now.
Yeah,
They're
we're
clashing.
getting
with
one step
LAPD
closer
right
to
now.
craziness and
Wow.
insanity. But I just want to say this for all those people that are like, oh my God, the locker room is 4 guys. How can you talk about abortion? Because guys are supposed to shut the fuck up on abortion issues. No, thank you, Apple. Thank you, Apple. Because the second Apple added a pregnant man emoji,
I think that
Yeah.
was Bill
What?
it
Gates.
opened the door for men to be able to
It is
speak
Bill
about
Gates.
abortion.
Oh my god. Apparently we're okay.
There's for all the people emojis now on my phone. There's 3 of everything.
Yeah.
What's the third one?
Okay.
The non-binary, just
Non-binary.
yeah.
Like it's
The
Pat.
I call them the gray shirts because they're all in like the. Wait, how are we
There's
supposed
red,
to say
blue,
this?
and gray.
Red, blue, and gray. Yeah.
So they're Bloods, Crips, and then undecided on what gang they're part of.
Yeah.
I'm asking for a friend.
Oh my
Pretty
God.
much.
So just so you know, guys, that you're out there, if you want to talk about the abortion debate now, you're more than welcome to, because men can have babies and men can get pregnant. So if men can get pregnant, then men should be allowed to discuss the issue of abortion, because it's no longer just a women's issue. Okay, so pro tip,
All right.
you can
Have
have
at
that.
it.
Also,
Have at it.
I just wanted to let you know I had a weird moment the other day. I was walking out of the house and one of my buddies was like, dude, your clothes look gay. And I was like, well, they just came out of the closet. So
Damn. I was wondering where you're going with that one. You did not
Yeah.
disappoint.
So I was asked the other day
Shit.
why I don't buy my wife a watch for Christmas. I replied, because there's a clock on the oven.
Damn.
Damn. Coming in hot.
Hey, I read this as a joke, but I kind of want to. I'm not bold enough just yet because she's hormonal and very pregnant. But gentlemen, next time you're out and about, anybody who's married that's listening to this, I double dog dare you when you introduce your wife to somebody to introduce her as your ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, I've done that.
I've
It
done
doesn't
it.
go over well.
No,
Yeah.
it goes over great. My wife loves it.
Well, the first time.
Oh, when you keep
What?
doing it.
Oh, well, see, okay, so I add this is my last ex-girlfriend. Like, because she's
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
so do you know why sailors can't say the alphabet?
Why?
Because they keep getting lost at sea.
That's
I hate you
That's
so
right
much
up
right
there
now.
with the, like when you're writing stuff on the socials, and you go through and you're typing real fast, and as you fuck up, it's like you fucking just you hate spelling errors because you mix up two letters and your whole post is urine.
Okay.
I see what
Got
you
it.
did there.
So I was left home alone all day, and my wife
Your name
asked me to
Kevin?
do the dishes. And she came home. She said, "Why the fuck are there all these dishes in the sink?"
Whoa.
I said, "Well, the dishwasher broke." I said, "But it's working now." As I looked at her, yeah, I had to eat my own. I had to eat a cold dinner. She didn't cook either.
My daughter was mad at me. She got a bad grade on one of her history tests in high school.
Okay.
And it was because she asked me who Galileo was, and I told her he was a poor boy from a poor family.
Oh God, yes.
What do dicks and spiders have in common?
Oh my
Whoa.
God. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Moving on.
People always exaggerate how big they are.
What do you call it when you mix alcohol and American literature?
A good
What?
time.
Tequila Mockingbird.
It's ironic
Hmm.
that the words strap on backwards spell no parts.
Oh, did you guys ever realize?
Oh my God.
Do you guys ever realize that if you try to pronounce "fuck off" backwards, it still says "fuck off," but like in an Irish accent?
Fuck off. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
What's
you
the
can't
difference?
spell Oh, go ahead.
No, go for it. Go for it.
You can't spell advertisements without semen between the tits.
Oh shit!
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
What's
That's
the
a good
difference? What's the difference between a porn star and your mom?
Oh, what?
A porn star can take more than one man.
Jesus. Wow.
Oh, did you know that sometimes the word misread can be misread as misread?
Okay, I got one in honor of Star Trek Day tomorrow. Or
by the way,
our
it's
listeners,
my wedding
yesterday's.
anniversary, 20 years, boys.
On the 4th?
20 years tomorrow.
May the force be with you.
20 fucking years.
Wow.
No, I got married 20 years ago. It wasn't Star Wars Day 20 years ago. We were still nerds.
No,
20
it
years
wasn't.
ago.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what did Yoda say when he saw himself in 4K?
What?
HDMI. That was a bad Yoda.
That was good enough. It was good enough. I got you. My wife threatened to divorce me when I said I was going to give our daughter a silly name.
Yeah.
So I called her bluff.
That's good.
My wife, we got in an argument one time, and she took off her shirt and took off her bra right during the argument that I was winning. I was like, man, that's a booby trap.
I was going to tell a time travel joke, but
Yeah.
you guys didn't like it.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh,
So I got a little Johnny joke. Teacher asked Johnny, "Can you tell me the name of 3 great kings who have brought happiness and peace into people's lives?" Little Johnny replies, "Drink King, Smoke King, and Fuck King."
I stand behind that.
I respect
Good old
that.
little Johnny.
Good
Yes,
old
sir.
little
Yes,
Johnny.
sir.
You know that people who buy sex dolls are fucking dummies?
That's good.
I love that one.
Oh shit.
Oh, like that one I sent you a picture of from work.
Oh yeah. Oof.
Oh,
Oh.
I like the caption.
God,
I sent it a little too hard on this one.
Well, this one's fucked up.
Okay.
What?
You seem awfully proud of yourself. I don't know where this is
No,
going.
I'm not proud of this. Why aren't there any women in NASCAR?
Oh, Jesus. Why?
Because they like to talk back a little and smart off before they get beat by a man.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
Correction,
That
there
is,
is women in NASCAR, so this is wrong. But
Oh.
That's going to be locker room mailbag.
Oh, I've got a dumb one. It's not quite a closer, but it's fun and dumb.
Well, it's time for closing, so this could
It
be
is
the
ti-
closer.
Does anybody have a closer? Does anybody have a strong closer? Because if not, I have this dumb one. It's a
Do
dumb,
the dumb
closer.
one.
Okay.
Do the dumb one.
So a farmer looks up and sees his prized sheepdog running towards him.
Mhm.
And the sheepdog's panting, and he says, "Boss, I did it. It took me all morning, but I finally got all 100 sheep in the barn." And the farmer says, "That's great, but we only have 97 sheep. And the sheepdog says, "Yeah, I know. I rounded them up."
Oh my God. All right.
Oh, Jesus. All right, there we go.
Oh, well, that's another good one in the books, boys.
Yeah, we so you're
Keep your daughters off the pole is what we're saying.
and keep the pole out of your daughters,
And keep the
and
pole out of your daughters.
and don't let them turn into somebody like Amber Turd.
No.
Who, if you're
Oh.
listening to this now, hopefully you listen to her testimony.
Yes,
starting
we
her
can't wait. We're
testimony
going to talk about her
yesterday.
testimony
Yeah.
after the testimony happens, because as of the recording of
Yes.
this, testimony has
It
not
has not happened. Yeah.
and I can't wait. I posted a thing on our Instagram because apparently she fired her PR team, right?
Mm-hmm.
As if it was their fault.
Yeah.
But she's quoted as saying, "I really feel like they shit the bed on this one."
Talking about shitting the bed. Did you fucking see the post of the text message that she sent Johnny Depp? Johnny Depp screenshot and posted a text that she sent. He's like, "Yeah, stop texting me." Blah, blah, blah. And it was her joking around about how bad her legal team is, and all this shit, and still calling him a pussy. Blah blah blah. I was like, "Oh yeah, look it up
during
Look
the
it up.
trial.
I mean, if this is true, I mean, there's a lot of false shit coming in and out, and so. But yeah, it looks like this
damn.
looks to be legit. And I was like, "Oh man, yeah,
Wow.
I love it.
So,
I love it. Perfect.
that bitch cray cray."
Yeah.
All right, boys. Well, you know what?
They usually are.
Oh, that reminds everybody, you still have time because we got our Warrior Poets episode coming up. So you still have time to send in your suggestions for Warrior
Yes.
Poets. Also, we have people that are already saying they want to tell us about their crazy, don't have sex with crazy. And yes, we
Ooh,
have
those would be
seen
fun ones.
the crazy hot quotient guy who
The major,
draws
yeah,
the
the crazy
graph on
hot
the board.
matrix. Yeah. Yep.
But we may have to review that. We may have to post that right before we do the episode. So send us. Where can they send us the emails with their crazy hotness? Don't have sex with crazy stories.
It's not gonna be locker room mailbag at gmail.com. Is that what we're sending them to?
That's what
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
not
Locker room.
DM. Not DM.
Yeah.
Do not DM us. And if you all want to buy us beer, we'll be more than happy to drink it. Follow the links on the page,
That's right.
and we'll drink with you while we're recording this podcast.
Yeah. Also, I want to give a personal thank you to all of our wonderful, faithful listeners that are sympathetic towards my stolen truck plight and have been blowing up my personal Instagram with leads on trucks all over the goddamn
Nice.
country. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm not even upset. I'm not even fucking upset. I'm like, well, that's great. That's great.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Hey, they're doing your research and your shopping. Price
Yep, it's
matches.
great. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Let's
So
go.
thank you guys. That's the fucking locker room army, dude.
Hell yeah. Appreciate you
All right,
guys.
well,
Thank
until
you.
our next episode, we'll see you in the locker room.
See ya.
Later, guys.
The outside